Gamers, beavers, lurkers, grab your snacks. The underdog, the legend in his own mind. Jaybeazt, dropping memes and bringing heat. Jaybeazt, stream is starting, pull up a seat. Breaking news, trailers dropped. I react and maybe sound a bit shocked. New game hype, I got the tea. Call of Duty, Battlefield, come watch me. Not a big shot, just starting out, but I'll hype your chat and hype my clout. My aim's kinda bad, my joke's kinda worse, but at least I never stream with rehearse. Jaybeazt, underdog with gamer streak. Jaybeazt, laughs, reacts, chaos you seek. Warning. Jaybeazt, you may mispronounce your favorite game. Please remain calm. Chat's alive, memes flying fast. I may fail, but it's always a blast. Subscriber hype, not just some friends, but the fun and chaos never ends. Reacting, chatting, sometimes I play, even if I die in the first 5 minutes. Hey, new game breakdown, I'll nerd out loud, making jokes, looking goofy, maybe proud. Jaybeazt, underdog, but bringing fire. Jaybeazt, love by beats, memes and satire. Who's in chat? Beast back. What's the game? Total snack. Level up? Maybe not yet, but we laugh, we hype, you won't forget. Achievements, sure, but I miss a lot. Glitches, bugs, rage quits I've caught, but while the pros are flexing loot, I'm here, underdog with style and cute. Streaming news, trailers, reactions too. Sometimes I even know what I'm doing, kinda true. Chat laughs, memes fly, and everyone's hyped. Welcome to Jaybeazt, the underdog is live tonight. Jaybeazt, underdog, chaotic streak. Jaybeazt, gaming news, laughs, you seek. Not a pro, but never weak. Caution, Jaybeazt may mispronounce your famous pronounce a game or make you laugh uncontrollably. Stream starting now. The fifth out.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the midweek stream. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. We have some Assassin's Creed news. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I woke up this morning to some amazing news about Assassin's Creed getting an official title, and I looked into it, and it looks like we do have one. So we will talk about that as well today. Sorry, just give me a second. I haven't actually got my coffee today yet because I had one early, unfortunately. So I'm not gonna have another one today while streaming, but that's okay. We can get through. Man, we got Game Awards coming soon, very, very soon. So I'm quite hyped for that. We're gonna be talking about what's been confirmed to make an appearance on Game Awards and what hasn't been confirmed and all that, and try to dig in a little bit and see what's going on, you know. What else is going on? Yeah, we got lots of game awards news happening. So we'll talk about what's going on with that prior to it starting. I think it's happening tomorrow, right? So it's like a couple of days to go, or less than a day to go, actually. There are some concerns rising about the whole Netflix and Warner Brothers merger, especially concerning the games division. So I want to talk a little bit about that as well today. So tune in for that. And we have some exciting news about the devs who are behind the Perfect Dark game. So that might be something to keep an eye out there. And there's some, and the Winter Offensive update is live for Battlefield 6 already. That just went live yesterday while we were playing at 8 p.m. over here in Melbourne. Um, I actually haven't gotten around to play the winter map for the well, I believe it's for the Manhattan map. I haven't actually played it yet, so I'm gonna be playing it after the stream. See how it goes. But yeah, man, it's already live. There's a ton of patches that went live along with it. Lots of fixes and bug fixes and rebalancing and stuff like that. So hopefully it's going well. I haven't tested the game enough to see a major difference just yet. I just know the news limited time winter map is live right now, and there's been some balancing, especially concerning the bloom for the guns. How it feels, I don't really know. But if you have already checked it out, let me know. But yeah, it's already live. It's already live. Anyway, jumping real quick into this whole news about Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, as you already know, is one of those games that is probably considered one of the best games in Assassin's Creed franchise. No doubt about that. Ask anyone. There might be actually people who don't like Black Flag, but I think personally, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, by the way, sometimes you forget that it's the fourth game. The official title is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. One of the best games ever made. Yeah, it's very pirate focused, but as an Assassin's Creed game, it's also pretty good. Also pretty good. It's getting a remake, and we have talked a ton about this in our live streams and also in numerous videos I have put out at this point. It is probably the biggest well-known secret in the gaming industry at this point. There's a ton of details that's been leaked and reported by various websites and things like that. And yeah, it's definitely one of those games that we know is coming but hasn't been confirmed by Ubisoft as a game that is coming, which I know is weird. It's weird. We did talk about that, oh, they're probably trying to shadow drop it, so that's probably why they haven't said anything. However, there's been an appearance in the PEGI rating site, the PEGI 18 site, in the US ratings board. Sorry, the US ratings board. They have published a new listing that talks about Assassin's Creed Black Flag RESYNCED. Assassin's Creed Black Flag RESYNCED is apparently the title that appeared. I tried to actually go into the PEGI website. It's crashing on me. I'm not sure. Hang on. I'll see if I can show it. It's not really showing up anywhere. Yeah, well, I tried to go into the website, and it's not really showing. It's saying service unavailable. This is probably because you can't look at it from outside of the country. Maybe that's why it's not showing. I don't really know. Maybe they have geo blocked it, so I can't really see it, unfortunately. But I can show you screenshots of what's appeared here. So according to Insider Gaming, this is what it appeared as. Assassin's Creed Black Flag RESYNCED appeared. And if you look closely, it doesn't really give much away, but it says violence. I'll try to make it big. There you go. It says violence, bad language, and in-game purchases. So, yeah, I mean, violence and bad language is not a surprise here, but in-game purchases, I think, again, probably not a huge surprise at this point, because Assassin's Creed Black Flag already did have like in-game purchases at the time, if I remember correctly. And this is a remake. Um if if this is going to be a full-on remake as they have intended to make, again, we don't know. This is pure speculation, all of this at this point, because nothing has been confirmed by Ubisoft. If they're trying to do a remake, and they're probably going to modernize the combat and also include everything that currently available or people have come to expect from Assassin's Creed games in this game, whether you like it or not. That's what's going to happen. I don't believe that it is a remaster, because if you remember, the actor who voices Edward Kenway, let me try to find that. Let me try to find that video. See if I can try to. Yeah, Edward Kenway voice actor. Okay, I don't know if you remember this. Oh, crap. Can't. Actor leaks Black Flag remake.
I can't say.
Okay. I'm trying to find the original video. If I can find it, that will be amazing. Video. I'll go to YouTube actually. See if I can find the original. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah, okay. Alright, I found it. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember, but like this was some time ago.
Great, priming them and everything. Right, quote.
Yeah. So he was asked he was at a convention. This is Matt Ryan. He is the voice of Edward Kenway. He was at a convention and he was reached by a fan and was asked this. He was asked whether he was working on something. I remember. Just let's watch it.
Have you beaten the game?
I have a while ago. It's been a minute, but
Well, you might have to beat it again.
You may have to beat it again, he says.
is this true?
Look at that nod. He gives a slight nod.
Is this true?
He didn't say anything because obviously NDAs, but he just had a little interaction with the fan. I guess he's just trying to be a little cheeky there. And this is probably the start of these rumors about Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. And he just said, you may have to beat it again, like that. And he didn't really say anything. But yeah, he did get in trouble for that, actually, from Ubisoft. And I think Ubisoft tried to like threaten to sue him or something like that, because he didn't stick to his NDAs and stuff. I think this interaction feels very like cheeky little interaction with one of your fans. I don't think he was trying to leak anything, to be honest. And people got excited when they caught the wind of any possibility of Assassin's Creed Black Flag happening. So yeah. Anyway, Ubisoft being Ubisoft, totally misread that situation and tried to, threaten to sue this guy. I don't know what they're doing, but anyway. My point is, the whole reason why, if he was called back to record lines for the game, if they were doing a remaster of the game, they wouldn't need him to come back and record lines. The only reason why he would go back and record lines is because he has to do new lines. That to me suggests that this is probably very likely a remake, in like a true remake of the game. And that is very exciting. And you're probably going to see, like in-game purchases, like the store items and cosmetics and stuff like that. Probably a whole new look, maybe not like an entirely new look, but probably like a reworked look for Edward Kenway and pretty much everything else. And if the leaks that was shown to us like a couple of months ago, we reported on what was it? Video. It's like a French magazine that leaked some information about like you know, about some of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag stuff, and it came from a pretty reliable source. Let me see if I can find that video. Yeah, anyway, I'm trying to find the game. It was one of the videos that I covered it on a couple of, almost like a month ago. Let's see. I shall see what's happening. Yeah, okay. I think this is the one. So we were talking about, yeah. I think yeah, we were looking at some of the stuff. I don't know. Huge leaks. Anyway, I can't find the exact position where we were reporting on them. Anyway, it was getting back to the whole point. We were talking about how Video magazine has leaked information about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and they were saying there's a lot of changes, and there's a lot more map area to discover and explore. The game itself is actually longer and much bigger than the original game was. So everything that has been leaked suggests that this is well and truly a remake of the game and not necessarily a remaster. So that gets me very excited, very excited. And I was hoping that they would do a complete shadow drop of the game and not have any, previous like a pre-marketing cycle for it before the launch. But it feels like that might not be the case here. They might actually be showing this in the Game Awards. This might be a surprise in the Game Awards this year. I don't know, because yeah, why would this appear in PEGI website otherwise? This is very obviously Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Is definitely, now we know that it's the official title. Even though Ubisoft hasn't said anything, we know that it's coming. It's like set in stone now, but we just don't know when it's gonna come. We have no idea. But yeah, I really hope that they do a shadow drop. Still, like what would be really cool is if they actually announce this in Game Awards and be like, hey, you can actually play this today. That would be the best Christmas gift ever, dude. Best Christmas gift ever. This would actually, if this happens, I feel like half the people who've been bashing on Ubisoft, sometimes including myself, will, like, you might be able to actually redeem yourself in these people's eyes, at least to an extent, And I feel like this would be the way to go if they do that. Like, if this is a Christmas drop, pre-Christmas drop, that would be the best way to end the year for Ubisoft. And because they had a rocky year, 2025 has not been great. And even last year they've had a few years that's been rocky, but even with the Shadow not performing as well. They say that it did perform, but it did have a lot of issues. But then they did have a lot of issues with Avatar release last year, and also the Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws, did not perform that well either, and yeah, things like that. Really messed up them, and they had a whole not a merger, like kind of a merger happened with their IPs with Tencent because they're running out of cash, man. So if they can actually do a shadow drop for Game Awards and be like, hey, it's available now and you can just dropping in play, that would be the best. That would be so good. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's already up on Peggy's side and doesn't really say much. Usually, I know that it gives away a little bit more detail than it shows. I can't really check the site right now. I'm trying to go into it, but if I just click on Astro, it says service unavailable. I can just only go to the home page barely. I can't click on anything or like even go to search games, and it just goes service unavailable. So unfortunately I can't show you guys, but yeah, it usually like gives you a little bit more information. It shows like which platforms it's on and stuff like that. This one, it doesn't really say much. It only just shows this Assassin's Creed Black Flag RESYNCED this banner. That's all it shows. So, and it says 18. Yeah. So take think what you will of that. I don't know, but definitely it's coming. And the fact that based on that Insider Gaming themselves in a report confirmed that Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is set to be released before March 31st, which is the end of our Ubisoft financial year. It would make sense that they drop a pre-Christmas drop. That would be amazing. But I can only hope. One can only hope. This is like complete optimism on my part. I don't think it'll happen, but you can dream. You can still dream. It's okay to have a dream. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you like the title, the Black Flag RESYNCED? I think this does suggest that it is probably going to be like a little bit of a different experience to what original Black Flag was. You have your Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag on itself. You can play with the all modern days parts and stuff like that, which we got report from that French magazine has been significantly reduced or actually taken out in the remake. And Assassin's Creed doesn't have the number anymore. It doesn't say Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag anymore. It says Assassin's Creed Black Flag RESYNCED. Because they have dropped the numbering system pretty much after Assassin's Creed Black Flag released. Because even after this, they dropped Assassin's Creed Rogue, which didn't have a number on it. And back then they preserved the numbering for the main line entries, which was like Assassin's Creed. You got your first Assassin's Creed, and you got your Assassin's Creed 2, and then you got Brotherhood, and you got, what's the other one? Revelations, which were sort of like spin-off of the Assassin's Creed 2. It became like Assassin's Creed 2 trilogy, Ezio's trilogy, and then you got Assassin's Creed 3, and then you have Assassin's Creed 4, which is Black Flag. But then they ditched the whole numbering system and went with like subtitle. So yeah, then we've just been getting Assassin's Creed Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, Shadows, and we got Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, which is called RESYNCED. And we're probably not gonna see the whole modern day path from the original title based on what it looks like. Resynced suggests that it's probably going to have like a very minimal modern day part that's tying into why there is a remake. Maybe, I don't know, they might actually play into that a little bit and be like, hey, they got like new animus technology where you can experience the whole Assassin's Creed Black Flag thing, Edward Kenway's journey uninterrupted, blah blah blah, or something like that. I don't know what they'll do with it, but it looks like that's probably what's going to happen, and you'll have it as like a revisiting of Black Flag, Edward Kenway, rather than a complete like offering the exact same game that Black Flag was. That's what it looks like and sounds like to me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, because yeah, I might be completely wrong on this one. So yeah. Anyway. I do have some COD news to also talk about as well, dude. We haven't talked about COD in a while, have we? Because after we experienced the whole campaign, co-op campaign, it really put me off, and I didn't really want to visit it, if I'm completely honest with you. So yeah, I haven't actually played the rest of the campaign after the live stream we did, and going through the first bit of the campaign, and then the machete falling out of the sky and beating the paranormal boss. That was so weird. It was like a boss fight, very weird. After that, I kind of just left it. I played a little bit of the multiplayer, but that was really it. People have been saying that it improved a little bit and blah blah blah, but I've been busy with Battlefield 6. Not gonna lie, Battlefield 6, trying to put in some time for where winds meet, because I'm really enjoying that game a lot. But there's so much content in that game, dude. So unless you put in the time, you're not gonna get much out of that. So putting in time for both while doing this, the YouTube thingy, streaming and working and everything, it's a challenge. So being very limited with my time and being forced to pick what I play. Anyway, moving on. Call of Duty have come out and said, Activision, to be precise, have come out and said that they're moving forward. They will no longer have back-to-back releases of Call of Duty sub-franchises like Modern Warfare and Black Ops, right? Kind of makes sense. We had back-to-back Modern Warfare games after Modern Warfare Remake, I believe. Let me check real quick. Call of Duty release dates. Okay, all the Call of Duty release dates. I'm just gonna go on Wikipedia, because Wikipedia will give me information that I'm looking for. Okay, we had. I'm gonna start from here. Modern Warfare. Okay, we had Modern Warfare coming 2019. I think, yeah, and then we had Black Ops Cold War. Fine, and then Vanguard. So this is kind of what they have done up until 2021. So up until 2021, they've been sort of going back and forth between franchises, giving each studio that's working on each sub-franchise time to actually make the game. But that kind of fell to sideways in the last 4 years for some reason. Like if you go here, you'll see that all this time you got Modern Warfare and World at War, Modern Warfare 2. That Modern Warfare is made by Infinity Ward, and this World at War was made by Treyarch. And then you got Black Ops. That was an effort from both Treyarch and Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games, which was a huge success. And Modern Warfare 3 as well. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 came, and then Ghost. That was a kind of a smear. Ghost was pretty bad, actually. And then Advanced Warfare kind of worse. And then Black Ops 3 happened, and then it all kind of went to sideways a little bit around this time. But still, even during that time, it was Infinity Warfare, that was Infinity Ward, and then 2017 you had WW2, which is Sledgehammer Games, and then Black Ops 4, Treyarch, and then back to Modern Warfare, which is Infinity Ward again. So each studio had a 3-year window to work on the next game. And then Black Ops Cold War was again Treyarch and Raven Software. Vanguard was Sledgehammer Games. Modern Warfare 2 was Infinity Ward. And then, I'm not sure how accurate this data is, to be honest with you. It seems like they all work on all the games. But my point is, in 2022, we had Modern Warfare 2, which was kind of shit. And then Modern Warfare 3, which was even more shit. And then you had Black Ops 6 in the following year, last year. And then Black Ops 7 this year. So, the quality of those games have actually gone significantly down from franchise each release after release, right? And people have really been vocal about it and saying, this does not make any sense. Like it's Black Ops 7. No matter how you want to spin off, they had a really rough launch. They really did. And they like people. I mean, there are people out still. I acknowledge that there are still COD players that would love Black Ops 7. I've actually gotten a lot of comments on some of my videos where I talked about Call of Duty and Battlefield defending the multiplayer part of Black Ops 7, saying that it's actually pretty decent. And some were actually saying that it's the best multiplayer that they have released. So, which I totally get. It is completely fine to have, to like the game, no problem at all. But overall, when you consider the bigger picture and how Call of Duty has performed in the past, this has been weak. This has definitely been weak. And a lot of people, more than usual, have been pretty vocal and called out Call of Duty for not meeting the play expectations with the current state of especially multiplayer. And now the campaign is also under fire as well because of they made it co-op, and it just doesn't meet expectations of the people who actually enjoy a Call of Duty campaign. They made it co-op and just almost like an extension of the multiplayer, which is not great because all the mission structures play out like a multiplayer game. Really weird decisions. And rough launch, right? Rough launch. And this is hang on, I'm trying to so they put up this blog post on their website, and this is the message from the Call of Duty team. So this just dropped yesterday. Let me try to make it bigger so you can see. All right, so this is what it reads. First of all, thank you for all the feedback we have received over the last few months. Call of Duty has enjoyed long-standing success because of all of you, passionate community that demands excellence and deserves nothing less. Okay. With respect to Black Ops 7, we set our sights to deliver a spiritual successor to Black Ops 2. And the studios have poured their passion into making a great game that all of us were very proud of. But it's one thing for us to say it. More importantly, it is up to you to try it and judge for yourself. So as it relates to Black Ops 7 and the future of Call of Duty, here are a few important notes. You'll have the opportunity to play Black Ops 7 for free. Next week, you're opening the doors for everyone to jump in and play Black Ops. Okay, they're doing a free weekend again, or trial. Yeah. We're committed to unprecedented seasonal support, which is great. Our strategy going forward is changing. Okay, this is the part. We will no longer do back-to-back releases of Modern Warfare or Black Ops games. The reasons are many, but the main one is to ensure we provide an absolutely unique experience each and every year. We will drive innovation that is meaningful, not incremental. while we aren't sharing those plans today, we look forward to doing so when the time is right. To be clear, the future of Call of Duty is very strong, and we believe our best days are ahead of us given the depth and talent of our development teams. We have been building the next era of Call of Duty, and it will deliver precisely on what you want, along with some surprises that push the franchise and the genre forward. We look forward to welcoming you in, listening to you, and moving forward together. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about the surprises, but it seems like they have probably received the message finally that they need to actually change things up and listen to the fans of the franchise, because if the players don't play your game, it doesn't matter how innovative and how, you know, cool you think the game is. Like they have said themselves, like, you know, it's one thing to say um, it's one thing to say uh, you know, they're proud of the game they have made, but another thing to actually getting people to try it and actually make them like your game and enjoy the game. And if there's not enough enjoyment to be had from your game, that's probably a good reason for you to revisit some of the choices you have made for the game, for the franchise as a whole, and reevaluate your decisions and maybe change them, you know. And if you do that often enough, and if you do that often enough, people not going to give you shit like this. People will actually understand. Okay, it is okay to make mistakes. No problem. It is okay to try things and, you know, be experimental. People actually reward that shit. But the thing is, you have to understand what you're working on. You have to understand what players want, especially when it comes to multiplayer focused game like Call of Duty. You have to understand what the players want. If you're not listening to the fans, you're not gonna give them what they want. You're just gonna do whatever you want, and there'll be a very minority group that will enjoy. It won't be the majority like it used to be. So that's what we're seeing with Black Ops 7. There is a small crowd that actually still enjoys the game, but it's not the majority. And that used to be different. Call of Duty used to be huge, and not this year. They're gonna have to recover that for next year and make sure that they get back up in if they want to remain relevant. So yeah, I think it's good that they giving the studios, each studios like Treyarch and Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games and Raven Software, time to actually focus on each entry in the franchise and actually polish it and make something that's really unique and great for each year release. It is a whole another issue that the whole thing is annualized and they're releasing Call of Duty every single year, which I do not think is necessary at all. But that's where we are, and it's become an expectation in the community now. If you're not getting an annual Call of Duty, that's kind of weird. It's like not getting a FIFA every year, right? Like if FIFA skipped a year or something, it's weird. It's become such an annualized thing now. It's become the expectations, but that's something they brought it up in themselves. Wasn't used to be the case, but here we are. Anyway, but all they can do is utilize their development studios, and maybe perhaps all the third-party developers also, to make sure that the resources are provided to have the development on the each year's entry done properly, and do quality assurance testing and do play tests to make sure that these are what the people want, and also listen to, you know, get active feedback. Constant feedback is needed. That's what they performance wise, they never had issues with it. They do beta testing and all that. The performance wise, these guys nail it every year. That's not the issue. The issue is getting proper feedback from actual fans of the game and understanding what's missing and what's not missing, what needs to be improved, what needs to be changed, that sort of stuff. So active feedback, constant feedback, like Battlefield 6 devs are doing right now. they have mucked it up before too, like in 2020 or something when the 2042 dropped. That was a massive disaster of a game. They have tried to bring it back and improve a little bit on it, but it never really, recovered. And they, because of that, they had to actually, halt everything to do with battlefields and take some time off and come back. It took them 5 years to come back and announce a new game. So they've been quietly working on a Battlefield 6 and getting feedback and running testing to make sure they provide a Battlefield game that players truly wanted to play. That's the only different thing that they did. They didn't do anything else. They just made a game that people wanted, and they succeeded. And after the release, there was still a lot of issues with Battlefield 6, but they kept getting feedback. They kept requesting that you provide feedback actively, and were listening to that. Nowhere you doesn't matter. Even if you like made a video about it, you were tweeting about it, whatever, they were all over it. They were getting the message and they were fixing it, and they were doing weekly updates to actually fix the, starting with the most annoying issues, and then slowly trying to remove all the little issues as well. And the winter offensive patch they released yesterday was massive. It had so many bug fixes and rebalancing. It was great. So I hear. I haven't actually tried it. Like I said before, I'm gonna try it right after this live stream tonight. But but that's what they need to do. They don't stop there. They're after this patch. They still gonna listen to fans and be like, and see what they have got it right, what they have got it wrong with this patch, and then go back and fix that again. And that's the level of service you need for Call of Duty as well. And if you do that, I think fans will get behind it, and most of the players will return back. And there will be competition. The competition is always healthy. It's good to have like Call of Duty and Battlefield, competing against each other, because that means all the players get better games. And I don't want Call of Duty to go away. I don't want Battlefield to go away either. I want both to coexist and have healthy competition between each other, so players get the best of both worlds. So yeah, I really hope they do that, man. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah. Anywho, my God, Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty. All right, do you guys have anyone found what the hell is going on with what am I talking about? The mystery statue from Game Awards. We the whole of internet has been going crazy trying to figure out what the hell is this statue that appeared in the middle of the desert. If you have been living under a rock and you have no clue what I'm referring to, this is what I'm referring to. So this fun little statue appeared out of nowhere, and everybody has been kind of talking about that. It actually glows in the dark at night as well, which is kind of amazing, really. I mean, there's a lot of talk about it at the moment. A lot of talk about it, and people have been like, it's probably nothing. It's probably gonna be absolutely nothing at all. And people were saying that it was God of War, maybe maybe Elder Scrolls and stuff like that. And but then people were many actually ended up confirming that it's not the case. Like Cory Barlog, who behind God of War, confirmed that it's not God of War. Jason Schreier said that it's not Elder Scrolls. But however, right now there's a new trademark for a legendary RPG series has been spotted. Okay, it might be a new Divinity game. It seems, but we don't really know. But this is what is suggested by this article by MP First. TGA statue mystery solved. New Divinity trademark uncovered as the new icon matches statue. That's what they say. Okay, let's read on because I haven't read the article yet. We're just 2 days away from Game Awards, one of the year's biggest gaming events, yet the announcements bound for the stage are already leaking left and right. The internet is buzzing with news about the event, from small rumors and game ratings to accidental slips such as the reveal of an iconic character making a comeback in Resident Evil Requiem. Oh yeah, the dude, my dude Kennedy is returning to Requiem, and that's no longer a secret. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's keep going. However, few things have sparked as much discussion as the mysterious demonic statue that recently appeared in the middle of Mojave Desert, something heavily promoted by host Geoff Keighley through a series of cryptic messages. Oh man, my dude Geoff Keighley. I know it's pronounced Jeff Keighley. I'm just being funny. Anyway, while early speculation linked the statue to titans like God of War, Diablo, Elder Scrolls, those theories have since been debunked by reliable insiders like Jason Schreier. I already said that. Anyway, moving on. We found strong evidence suggesting the Divinity franchise is preparing itself for a major announcement, and it might just be the one everyone has been talking about. Okay. Alright, so what does that mean? Let's keep going. The discovery centers on 3 new trademarks registered today in Europe for the Divinity franchise, 1 for a logo and 2 for icons that appears to be related to the logo or promotional material. Although the owner of these filings is not listed, the representative ID ties them as the same. The design is unmistakably linked to the franchise created by Larian Studios. This new logo features the aesthetic of previous logo titles, but also a refreshed, modernized font, strongly hinting that this represents a brand new project in the saga rather than a simple re-release. Okay. Oh, okay, I see what they mean. Okay, so this is Divinity, and then you got this and this. Oh, I see that. You might be wondering how this connects back to the statue. Well, if you pay close attention to one of these 3 icons, we can notice a form that almost exactly resembles. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Okay, this website has gone to great length to actually match it with the logo that's been filed. So this is the statue, and this is the logo. Okay, that's kind of unmistakable. Dude, that's unmistakable. That's gotta be it. That's really gotta be it. Like, if it's not that, they're downright, like, copywriting this shit right now. You know what I mean? That's gotta be it. So, looks like it's a Divinity game, after all. Yeah, I think the mystery has been solved. Otherwise, that's a massive coincidence. Yeah, the game's new logo also features the big center eye like piece too. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really say anything by the look of it. I can't click on this to make it bigger. I'm sorry, guys. It's just trademark information. There's nothing. It's by the same people who filed for Divinity. It doesn't. That's the representative name here, but it doesn't really say what it is for. So I don't really know. Not sure what the trademark is for, but it might be referencing to something in the Divinity games. I mean, obviously. But the thing is, like, if it is something to do with, like, I don't know, like spider legs or something, It would be really odd. It would be an odd thing to trademark, right? So I don't think, I'm not sure. But it's unmistakable how similar this looks. I mean, you cannot look at this and say it's not related. You know, that would be too much of a coincidence. Too much of a coincidence, dude. And yeah, and this is pure speculation on this report. It says, with now knowing of the logo and it being tied to the statue, we speculate this may be reference to Black Ring faction from the Divinity game, specifically the God King. If you look at the character's design, its lower half does seem to match the statue and trademark symbol. Again, pure speculation and probably reaching on our part. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is speculation here, but it doesn't matter. The logo that they have filed, it does match almost exactly to the shape of the statue. The most iconic part of the statue, mind you. And there's got to be some sort of a significance as to why they have trademarked that. But we don't know. That's still a surprise. But at least we know that this is almost definitely related to the Divinity games. So there you go. That's I'm sorry if I spoiled it for you, and if you wanted to keep it spoiler free and wanted to uncover that in Game Awards, if you want to do that, I'm really sorry if I spoiled it for you. But at least we still don't know what it is referring to. We just know there's something to do with Divinity, and not exactly what. We're still not sure. Looks like it might be like a completely new thing on the Divinity saga, but yeah, probably not going to be like a remake or re-release or anything like that. But it's Larian, man. Larian Studios, they're pretty good at these RPGs. It might be something really fun. After sorry. Yeah. Anyway, it might be really fun because, especially after the success of Baldur's Gate 3, Larians is on, cloud 9, man. Like, they really proved themselves, and with Baldur's Gate 3, with exceptional storytelling as well. So we might actually get something really cool from the studio with this one, it looks like. And the fact that they have gone to such lengths to do a mysterious statue like this and make it really be the focal point of the whole Game Awards event tells me that it might be something big, actually. They might be cooking something really big with this one. Who knows? I'm really excited. It looks like, it might be something really exciting, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, as always. But yeah, Game Awards, man. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. It's coming in a day, less than a day. So we'll find out soon enough. Okay. Speaking of Elder Scrolls, yeah. So when was the last time we actually had Elder Scrolls games? Not the remaster, not the Oblivion remaster. When did Skyrim release? 2011? 2011 sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ever since 2011, they had so many re-releases. Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. I think at this point, I'm pretty sure they've had re-release upon re-release. It's Bethesda. Bethesda is the king of re-releases. I know some people like to give that title to Naughty Dog at this point with the Last of Us releases, but man, I think Elder Scroll really takes the cake, and also Fallout. Bethesda has been doing a lot of re-releases, trying to, you know, I guess milk it as much as possible. I'll see if I can find all the. I can't type. Every version of Skyrim you can play in 2025. Okay, that's helpful. There you go. Okay, so IGN has a very helpful article about all the versions of Skyrim. So you got Skyrim, PC, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 that released on 2011. That's the OG one. And then you have Skyrim Special Edition that's released on 2016 for PS4 and PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. And then you have Skyrim Special Edition, which is released for Nintendo Switch. And then you got Skyrim VR, which released for PlayStation 4 in 2017. And then you have Anniversary Edition that released in 2021 for all platforms. So it's had reasonable number of releases, re-releases since 2011. Yeah. It is an exceptional RPG. Most people actually really like, probably would call it the definitive Elder Scrolls experience. And Bethesda, you know, as you know, they're very proud of the game and its legacy. So they're not afraid to milk it as much as possible. So, yeah. But the thing is, this even with the latest release that they had on the Anniversary Edition, this is still missing one of the new platforms. So I guess Bethesda realized that it's not on this platform and decided to do another release, which is Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, so the Nintendo Switch 2 is getting a Skyrim port, which is awesome. But I don't know who hasn't played this game at this point and still waited until 2025 to play it. I don't know. It is still this is not a remaster or a remake. This is still the old game that released on 2011, just getting a Switch 2 port. But yeah, if you still haven't played it, and if you skip the game all the way through PS3, PS5, Switch, Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and Xbox Series, all of those. If you own a PC, you definitely would have played this by now. But if you haven't, if you even skip the Switch version when that released, you can now play it on Switch 2, which is awesome. And this is what they have officially said. They've said, bring your adventure everywhere with you during the holidays with the release of the Elder Scrolls V or Skyrim on Switch 2, available today. There you go. It's completely free for owners of the Anniversary Edition on Switch 1, which is, I guess, really good. So if you had it on Switch 1 and if you wanted to play it again, now that you have the Switch 2, there you go. You can play for free. You don't have to buy it again, which is pretty cool. Not sure if the same thing applies for other owners, but it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter if you already... Anniversary Edition was for PS5, I think. And also... What was it? Yeah, it's on PS4, PS5, Xbox. It's covered all the other platforms. So, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, so you get the full package and the digital content exclusive to Nintendo as well. I guess that is pretty cool. I hope they just do a new Elder Scrolls game instead of another release. That would be cool. If they're doing another release of Skyrim, I want it to be a complete remaster like they did with Oblivion, or a remake. But I don't know if they have the time to do it, because it's like they do one project at a time. But I don't know if they will ever do one. But it gives me hope, because they did one for Oblivion, so they might actually do one for Skyrim. Who knows, man? Who knows? Speaking of Naughty Dog being the king of re-releases, I spotted this on Insider Gaming. Uh, it looks like one of the former devs, one of the directors from the Last of Us games, they're no longer at Naughty Dog. They have they no longer at Naughty Dog. They have their own studio. Bruce Straley, I believe how that's pronounced. Bruce Straley is one of the directors from the Last of Us franchise, and he left and started his own studio, which is called Wildflower Interactive, and it is revealed that he's going to be unveiling his game, debut game at the Game Awards. So we get to see, you might actually get to see something really cool tomorrow at the Game Awards. I mean, if you look at what the dude has done, he's done a lot of cool stuff like The Last of Us. He directed Uncharted 2: Among Thieves, which is probably the best one in the franchise, and Thieves End as well. Thieves End is also pretty good as well. So dude knows what he's doing. So everyone's sort of keeping an eye on Wildflower Interactive to see what they come up with. And this is what the article on Insider Gaming says. The Game Awards are no strangers to The Last of Us, with the Naughty Dog IP winning multiple awards, including Game of the Year 2020 for Part 2. It's not surprising to see why. Last year, Naughty Dog even revealed its next project, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, at the end of the show. However, one of the Last of Us co-creators, Bruce Straley, wasn't there, having left the company in 2017. He started Wildflower Interactive in 2021, an indie studio, but didn't give more information than that. Okay, so Jeff Keighley joined us for the announcement for the first game from Wildflower Interactive. This is what it shows. So looks like this is gonna be the vibe of the game. It's gonna have like a cell shaded cartoon vibe. Or maybe that's just the logo of Wildflower Interactive. Not sure. But that's it. Man, Geoff Keighley is really good at teasing everything. He's teasing everything right now. And yeah, we just got a video, only 30 seconds long, shows of the game's cell shader style, neat wilderness setting. You can hear some dialogue. Yeah, I did hear that, but I couldn't really figure out what it said. Interestingly, Bruce's co-director on The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann, will likely be in attendance. The TV adaptation of The Last of Us second season is nominated for Best Adaptation. Dude, I do not know who in their right mind nominated the second season of Last of Us as the best adaptation. The first one, I would have given them that. The second one, hell to the freaking no. We probably have so many other ones that well deserving than this one. Nomination, fine. I just don't think it deserves to win though, because the second season was hot garbage. I mean, sorry, I'm a little bit too harsh on that one. It's not hot garbage. It's just a little trash. We're completely detached from Ellie's journey and completely focusing on Abby as the protagonist for season 3 is probably going to be trash again. There, I said it. I know you guys are thinking it, and everyone's thinking it, so I'm just saying it out loud, you know? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. According to what it says here, yeah, so according to what it says here, if it's if Jeff Keighley, if what Jeff Keighley says is true, we're gonna see. I mean, obviously, it's official. He said it. We're gonna see some crazy stuff, man. We're gonna see some crazy stuff. Oh, Oh, it's getting it looks like it's getting streamed live in 4K on X or Twitter. It's cool. We're adding more emotes to Twitch subscribers during the Game Awards. Okay, that's cool. Cool. Just 2 days. Honors to welcome the great Maggie the Bard as the presenter on Thursday. Cool. Oh, okay, that's the announcement. Game creator. 70% of my body is made of movies. Yeah, I mean, Hideo Kojima would obviously say that because he's a crazy dude. We're excited to welcome Miss Piggy as the presenter for the Game Awards. Okay. We got Todd Howard presenting. He's presenting an award. 2 days to go. Comebacks get a new look at Saros. Oh yeah, Saros is confirmed to be showing up on Game Awards. Saros going to make an appearance. That is confirmed by PlayStation. We're probably going to get an extended look or some sort of release date. We already know the release date, I reckon. I think. I don't know. But yeah, we're probably going to get a detailed overview of Saros, which will be very cool. Extra security clocking in the TGS. See you all Thursday night. Yeah, looks like Lego Batman, The Legacy of the Dark Knight is also making an appearance. Cool. 3 days. Okay. Just checking all the threads. It looks like. Have you stopped by the Game Awards in Fortnite map portal yet? Don't forget. The game in December for the future of the. Ooh, December 11th. Look, future of Tomb Raider. Are we getting a new Tomb Raider game? That would be amazing. That would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. That would be pretty cool. Would be even cooler if this is done by like Eidos Montreal. We just talked about this on our last stream. They had a massive number of layoffs, and we said that we might actually not see a game from Tomb Raider from them, like Crystal Dynamics, for a while. But I might be wrong. They might be cooking something. I don't know. It might be from another completely different studio because Tomb Raider IP is bigger than them. But I don't know. I don't know, man. Something's coming. Lara Croft returns. It looks like the classic Lara Croft. Not the Lara Croft that we've come to be familiar with, the Crystal Dynamics version. Not sure. Resident Evil Requiem. Small glimpse of what's coming. Exodus, will you be watching? We're getting Exodus new trailer in 3 days. That's cool. What else is getting? Final 5 nominees, player's voice, 100% fan voted award. Okay. Oh wow, Genshin Impact made it to that. Dude, this gives me like so much hope for their new game Varsapura. We talked about this before. But completely different vibe to Genshin Impact, but those devs know what they're doing, so might be a really cool one. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. I extensively covered that one, and I'm really hyped for that game. Cool. What else has been nominee hype trailer? Okay. Well, that's it, right? That's it. Also, Phantom Blade Zero might get a release date on Game Awards. It looks like that might be something that might happen. You know. Oh yeah. There you go. That's if you go to the Game Awards on Twitter, Phantom Blade Zero promised to reveal its release date in 2025. Next Thursday, The Lion Awakens. The world premiere announcement arrives at the Game Awards. That's cool. It's good that we're getting release date reveal for that game. That's very cool. Have they put anything else here that we have missed? I'm just let's break down Thursday night. Yeah, we already went through this stuff. What is this? Closed beta begins for Rust Anywhere. Registration is now open. Gear, okay. Yeah, that's the mobile game. Yeah, I think that's pretty much that's all that's been confirmed. And yeah, Lara Croft and all that. Very cool. Yeah, so nothing much has been confirmed. We've got 3 confirmations to be appearing at Game Awards, but everything else is up in the air, man. That actually makes me really, really hyped and excited because we don't really know what we're gonna get. I'm all for really hype announcement. Even better if they do a shadow drop. Like I said, Assassin's Creed Black Flag's shadow drop would be amazing. Like they did with Oblivion Remaster. Like, oh, you know what? We get Oblivion Remaster's coming today. Go play it now. That would be so cool if they can do that. Yeah. Yeah, the new Tomb Raider game. I'm really excited about that as well. Don't know if it's gonna be like future. I mean, they said future of Tomb Raider. So, which studio is behind this? Is what I want to know. Just checking this Insider Gaming article about it. They saying they're reporting on it. What we just saw. No specifics were given. It seems fans will finally know what's next for Lara Croft. It's just giving some stuff. Whoop. Give me a second. I'm getting a call. Okay. I'm trying to... Okay. Sorry about that. I'm getting a call. In the middle of my stream. Alright. Anyway. Back to this. Okay. Where were we? Alright. So... Yeah. Tomb Raider... The last main entry in the series, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, released in 2018 with re-releases following suit. Developer Crystal Dynamics and new partner Amazon have been working on a new entry for some time. Okay, so it is Crystal Dynamics. So we might be getting a new game from Crystal Dynamics, new Tomb Raider game. That is very cool. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it. That would be very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so... That's as much stuff as we're gonna get before the Game Awards. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Let me know if you guys have heard anything else, and if you're excited for a Tomb Raider game. I'm pretty excited. I guess we'll see everything tomorrow. I don't know if I will be doing like a co-stream with the Game Awards. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try to do if I can. If not, I'll just do it afterwards. Not sure if I'll get to do that, but yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool because the thing is, I'm here in Melbourne. Usually these things go in the middle of the night, so I don't know, dude. I don't know. Game Awards. I'm just on this. Try to go to the YouTube and see. Live in 38 hours, man. 12th of December, 11. 11 in the morning? Hey, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do that. There you go. If it's gonna be at 11, then that should be fine. Okay, cool. I might actually live stream this because if we can do this, yeah, I can definitely do at 11. 11 would be a fine time for me. Friday, it'll be Friday. So yeah, definitely can do that. So yeah, tune in. I might actually cover this live. That'll be exciting, very exciting. I'll do a schedule for that one after this one. After this live stream, I'll go ahead and schedule that one. Anyway, yeah, that's all the Game Awards stuff. Okay, now something a little bit serious and less hypey, actually. I have missed the... Where is it, bro? Oh yeah, okay. There you go. I had the wrong link saved on my stream file today. Anyway, this is it. Okay, so this is a article from Insider Gaming again, reported by Mike Stroll yesterday. The title reads: Netflix downplays value of WB games, calls division minor in deal. I'm gonna not take any offense or anything because, you know, who am I? I'm just gonna read on and see what it says. So on December, okay, you guys already know about what happened. You know, Netflix trying to buy Warner Brothers. It looks like they might actually go ahead with the Warner Brothers Discovery acquisition, but there's a lot of before they do that, they have to get government approval. So they're working on that right now. It still hasn't fully gone through yet, but as part of the whole deal, that to have Netflix buy Warner Brothers, also included Warner Brothers games. Okay, that means Warner Brothers games means like all the properties, including the studios and the IPs. Everything will be owned by Netflix after this acquisition. There have been many attempts by many media outlets to try to get Netflix to respond regarding this, because there hasn't really been a lot of clarity around this. Because even when they really did a press release on their official Netflix website about the acquisition, there wasn't a proper mention of WB games. And then they did confirm a little later that the deal would also include the gaming division, but nothing beyond that. Now, we had the first specific comment made by Netflix co-CEO Gregory Peters on the company's pending purchase of WB Games. Okay? And according to him, he's saying that WB Games wasn't built into the deal model. He says, despite there being great studios and great folks working there, they didn't attribute any value to the game side of the company. So, yeah. I don't know what that means. I mean, so they didn't really think about the WB games at all. They don't think it's worth anything. That's a little strange, dude. Anyway, this is what they have said. According to Peter, what's his name? I forgot. Gregory Peters. According to Gregory Peters, co-CEO of Netflix, he's saying, While they definitely have been doing some great work in the gaming space, we actually didn't attribute any value to that from the get go because they're relatively minor compared to the grand scheme of things. Now, we are super excited because some of those properties that they have built, Hogwarts is a great example of that, have done quite well, and we think that we can incorporate that into what we're offering. They've got great studios and great folks working there, so we think that there's definitely an opportunity there. But just to be clear, we haven't built that into our deal model. Uh, yeah. Okay. I'm quite speechless here. I'm not sure. I don't know why they're downplaying that. They, I mean, to call it minor and like really, really minor to the fact that they didn't factor them at all, that's a little bit concerning. They're saying in this article, should the Netflix deal for Warner Bros. Close in 2026, they'll own studios like Avalanche Software, which is Avalanche Software are the devs behind Hogwarts Legacy, Rocksteady Games, behind games like Batman Arkham Trilogy, TT Games, and NetherRealm Studios Mortal Kombat. That means games like the aforementioned Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat, the rumored in development Batman game, and others will be under Netflix umbrella. To hear that they didn't consider gaming when determining the value of the company might not be what fans want to hear. That said, it's tough to know what the company really feels about the gaming side of things based on those comments alone. This is what concerns me. The real showing will come after they officially own all the studios. Of course, that's if they close the deal. Yeah, so that's what I mean. It doesn't matter. Like, if they're gonna get the studios, they're gonna get the studios. That's all good. But I think the lack of attitude towards, or like lack of care and attention towards WB games from Netflix is really concerning. Like I told you before in my previous video, Netflix is a giant, and what they're good at doing is making TV and movie production, and that's what they make the most money out of. And they're buying Warner Brothers for to eliminate competition and to own their IPs. They have a lot of valuable IPs under WB when it concerns TV production and movie production. That's where they're hoping to recoup that most of that cost that gonna go towards the deal, and then also eliminate competition, and that's all that sort of business stuff. So it makes sense that they haven't really considered the gaming side as much, but for co-CEO of Netflix to say as much as they haven't factored it in at all, that's a little bit concerning, because you got some legendary developers under the WB band right now. Although Rocksteady really did make a hiccup with Suicide Squad to Kill the Justice League, that was hot trash. But other than that, like NetherRealm with Mortal Kombat series, very iconic. Hogwarts, Harry Potter is huge, and Batman Arkham games, and they're probably working on another Batman game, it seems. And look, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Gaming industry is much bigger, much bigger, and it is getting bigger than TV and movie. It is. You might not want to believe that, but in terms of growth and in terms of value, game IP is gaining a lot more attention and a lot more value behind it, and you can't deny that, and you can't disregard that or completely dismiss it as a minor thing in the grand scheme of things. I don't know how I feel about that, but like I said in my previous live stream talking about this whole deal, Netflix Netflix will acquire the studios, but they're not going to put a lot of attention towards what they're doing. They're just going to focus on their library, the content of libraries, how they're going to merge them, how they're going to deal with the whole existence of HBO Max being basically a competitive library? Are they going to have the same offerings in Netflix and keep HBO Max also, or eliminate HBO Max altogether and have it all on Netflix? Stuff like that. That's what they're going to be focusing on, and what they can do with the newly acquired IP, some of the IPs that's been dormant, what they can do with that to resurrect them. I don't like that. That's the kind of thing they would actually probably focus on first. And I said they're probably not gonna pay attention to what the WB Games studios are doing, at least not for a while. And those will be sort of left to their own devices to work on whatever the projects they're currently working on without any huge major changes. And that's what it looks like they're planning to do. The fact that they're not factoring in or putting a lot of focus on the games division in the grand scheme of things tells me that is probably what's going to happen after the deal. But who knows? Who knows? It is also concerning that they're not putting a whole deal of attention towards WB Games, especially concerning the deal itself, because that could also mean that it's going to lead to very bad management of the gaming division, which can lead to lots of losses. And we, like I said before, we have seen it happen with Rocksteady Games, legends in the business, but put towards the wrong game. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which was a very bad game, not because Rocksteady is bad. They were forced to make a game that was not the type of game they would want to make, you know. And that's really, really quite sad, because, you know, Batman Arkham games, great storytelling, great combat, everything. And the combat side of the game in Suicide Squad was actually pretty good. It felt good. No surprise there, because Rocksteady made it, but it was an online game. It was a co-op shooter. That's not what Rocksteady does, and they were forced to make it in order to, you know, because the freaking greedy W Games management wanted something that could eventually be a cash cow, and that's not what it was. It was literally just the quite opposite of that, and that's because they misused the talent. And Netflix not putting enough of an importance on these guys can also lead to the same mistake again, and have them misuse the talent and probably run them into the ground. And that will be quite sad, because that means we're going to end up not getting the games we like and we want, and we probably going to get some slop that wouldn't really perform well, and that'll mean quite a lot of losses for the company. And Netflix, doing what they do, will cut their losses and literally run all these legendary studios into the ground. And yeah, that will be the end of it, and that would be really quite sad, and it would really suck if that ends up happening. I really hope that someone in Netflix actually understand the importance of WB Games eventually, at least, and actually put on the right people to manage them and actually bring them up, because that's what you want to see happen with this deal. Otherwise, it would really suck. So yeah, anyway, let me know what you guys think of this whole thing. I'm really quite conflicted at this point. It could go either way. They could either leave them alone to do whatever they want, you know, the whole, okay, you guys are the experts, so you take care of things approach, or they will try to meddle in too much and then drive all the studios into the ground. Could go either way. And either way, it would suck. I think. Anyway. But speaking of, running studios into the ground, I do want to talk about Perfect Dark Studio, the initiative. You guys remember, I think like a few months back, there was a whole number of layoffs happened at Microsoft and Xbox, and one of the studios that got axed was the Initiative. And Initiative was working on a Perfect Dark remake, or a new Perfect Dark game, and pretty much the entire studio got axed. So what's now happening is the two former lead employees from the initiative have now launched a new studio under 2K Games. 2K Games, if you don't know who they are, 2K uh, is the publishing company who has other legendary studios like Rockstar Games, which are making um, Grand Theft Auto 6, GTA 6, and they have Hangar 13, who makes Mafia games and stuff like that. So yeah, 2K is a big publisher, and yeah, these two guys, two lead employees from the initiative that just made a new studio under 2K Games, and they both of these members worked on the cancelled Perfect Dark title for Xbox. So and yeah, anyway, this is the article. It says the initiative was an ambitious new first party studio for Microsoft Xbox and led by former Crystal Dynamics head Daryl Gallagher. It brought in many notable figures from studios like Rockstar, Santa Monica, and Naughty Dog. The studio's first title was announced to be a remake reboot of Perfect Dark. Unfortunately, it didn't go through. Um, in a LinkedIn post, okay, so this is the LinkedIn post that they are talking about. Okay, Daryl Gallagher, he said, I'm excited to share that I will be joining 2K as a SVP, studio head, where I'll be building a new studio and leading an ambitious opportunity unlike anything I've taken on before. I've spent my career believing in what's possible when great people come together with a bold vision. I can't wait to get started with the exceptional team at 2K. Okay, that's a very brief post, but that sounds like they're going to be cooking something. In addition to the Brian Horton, the former creative director at the initiative for Perfect Dark, also announced on LinkedIn that he is happy to announce that he also joined 2K as VP, head of creative, at a new studio with Daryl Gallagher. So these two guys are clearly cooking something. And if you don't know who this guy is, Brian Horton. Prior to the initiative, Horton served as a creative director for Marvel's Spider-Man and the upcoming Marvel's Wolverine game. So these guys are kind of veterans in the industry. They've done big titles, so they're no stranger to ambitious big projects. But the same can be said about Leslie Benzies. Dude came straight out of Rockstar Games and made a complete garbage. Probably the worst game of 2025, Mind's Eye, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So that can happen too. So it could go either way. But I have some faith that this could lead to something really cool because these guys seemed a little bit more level-headed than Leslie Bensley ever was, to be honest with you. But we'll just see. The 2K is a pretty big take, and they are not gonna go easy on these guys. I can tell you that, because 2K is not known to be a chill place to work, but definitely a big studio, so they will have all the funding they need for sure. But yeah, it could go either way. But yeah, 2K will be very careful not to release a shit game though, because they got some credit to maintain, some credit. But yeah, it's a cool little news, I thought. Cool little news. But yeah, let me know what you guys also think about these happenings, man. A lot going on. A lot going on. Anyway, that comes to a conclusion of all the things that I wanted to talk about today. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. There was also some talks about Shadow's game director Simon LeMay Comtour told GameStrader that current release and the future AC games should focus on one gameplay mechanic that's been missing. Pay more attention to the parkour in future games as its own pillar, which is great, which is really, really great, because this has been something that fans always wanted in Assassin's Creed games, which is so weird because Assassin's Creed, the original games, really focused on parkour, and that was one of the best things about the Assassin's Creed games. But they cut back a lot on that in the later games. Now they're trying to bring it back, which is good, which is really good. We're trying to rectify the in post launch with shadows and push the narrative internally to say parkour matters. Let's really push parkour forward. That's what he said. This is cool. This is really, really cool. Good news. And they also said the dual protagonists can be divisive along very strange lines, right? It's not just a, well, I prefer a war, therefore I prefer Yasuke. Some people just don't like one character over the other, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it looks like they're doubling down on dual protagonist games in the future. If they have a good reason to do it narratively and for the setting. So that's what they have said, which is not completely surprising for me to hear, to be honest, because if you consider pretty much everything that has come since Odyssey, they've been kind of dual protagonists, right? Odyssey wasn't really a dual protagonist, but it had two characters that you can choose from. Depending on which character you choose, the other characters sort of get included in the plot device of the game. Like you had Cassandra and Alexios, I believe his name was. So you can choose to play as one or the other, not both. But if you choose one, the other one becomes a character in the game. So it worked like that. So in a way, it was kind of a dual protagonist. Valhalla, not so much dual protagonist, but you could play either as a female Eivor or a male Eivor, which was kind of weird if you think about it, but it kind of worked for the game. So they were trying to do that choice of, play whoever you want kind of thing, which I don't quite agree with. I think Assassin's Creed games thrives when you introduce a character that is fleshed out and has like a certain personality and kind of develops with the story. That's when it works the best. Not a customizable character that could either be male or female, blah blah blah. Like that really doesn't work. It really dilutes the story itself. That's just my opinion. I know there are people that actually like that approach. But then we saw in Mirage they went with Basim, who was actually a definite character from Valhalla, and they've stick with him. And then Assassin's Creed Shadows, instead of going with customizable character, they introduced two completely different characters that you can play as. You can play as both, switch them interchangeably, and they both have very different play styles and movement styles, Naoe and Yasuke. Controversial for some people, I know, but that's the what they went with, and it looks like they might be going with the similar approach with the future games. Maybe not all of them, but they might try to do it more often than you think, which is interesting, very interesting. I don't know if that is something that should be forced, but I think Assassin's Creed thrives when it's about a certain character, not a couple, not a few secondary characters, yes, but your primary protagonist has to be the one person that is very definitely defined character that you should focus on and have a clear journey of character development throughout the progression of the story and the game. that makes it. That's why Assassin's Creed Black Flag was so good, because it starts off with Edward Kenway. He goes through such a journey, and it's not just the combat. It's not just the setting of the being the fantasy of being a pirate. It's the story as well, and yeah. Anyway, same with Ezio. Ezio had 3 games focusing on him, literally for before being an assassin to becoming an assassin and growing old as an assassin. He covered his entire life, and it worked because it's about a definitive character that and he gets character development. He grows with you. That's what you want. That's really what works best. But that's just my opinion. So anyway, that's it for today. I'm gonna wrap it up today. Gonna get some Battlefield time into my day before I wrap it up, and then I'll do a special stream coverage for Games Awards. So we'll see you on that. All right. Okay. I'll see you then. Thanks for joining in, whoever joined. If anyone joined, I don't know. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Thank you, man. Bye-bye. Whoop.
Alright, time to paradise. The underdog's logging off. Baby! Thanks for hanging out for laughs, memes, and gaming clout. Even if I tripped, lost, or failed, you stuck around and that prevailed. We checked trailers, spilt the tea, mispronounced a game or 3. Call of Duty fails, oh that's me, but the chat laughed along, pure victory. Grab your snacks, hydrate up, don't fall asleep. I'll be back soon with news to peep. The underdog may stumble, trip, or rage, but you're the legends who fill my stage. Grab your snacks, hydrate up, don't fall asleep. I'll be back soon with news to peep. The underdog may stumble, trip, or rage, but you're the legends who fill my stage. Announcing chat, Jaybeazt is officially signing off. He may try to explain the plot of a game he hasn't played, argue with NPCs about story choices, or get stuck in the tutorial forever. And if someone says something wild in chat, he might go, "Oh mate, don't say that!" Thanks for surviving the chaos, laughing at my fails, and pretending my Call of Duty aim is fine. Catch you next time, same underdog energy, less chaos, maybe. Is fine. Catch you next time. Same underdog energy, less chaos, maybe.